Hayley Mills was born Hayley Catherine Rose Vivian Mills on April 18, 1946, in London, England. Hayley Mills was destined for a life in the arts. She was born into a distinguished theatrical family. Her father, Sir John Mills, was one of Britain's most respected actors, while her mother, Mary Hayley Bell, was a playwright, novelist, and actress. Surrounded by creativity from the very beginning, Hayley absorbed storytelling, performance, and emotional expression as naturally as breathing. Her childhood was shaped not only by privilege and artistic exposure, but also by discipline and observation. Growing up behind the scenes of theater productions and film sets, she learned early that acting was not merely about glamour but about commitment, patience, and emotional honesty. This grounding would become evident in her performances, even as a child, where she displayed a maturity far beyond her years. Hayley Mills's film career began in the late 1950s, but it was her breakthrough role in Disney's Tiger Bay, 1959, that announced her arrival as a remarkable young talent. Her performance earned her a Special Academy Award, an extraordinary honor that instantly placed her among the most promising actors of her generation. At a time when many child performers struggled to balance innocence with credibility, Hayley possessed a rare ability to convey depth, empathy, and quiet intelligence, making her instantly relatable to audiences. The 1960s marked Hayley Mills's rise to international stardom, particularly through her association with Walt Disney Studios. Films such as Pollyanna, 1960, The Parent Trap, 1961, That Darn Cat, 1965, and In Search of the Castaways, 1962, cemented her status as a cultural icon. In Pollyanna, her portrayal of the eternally optimistic young girl resonated deeply with audiences navigating a rapidly changing world. Her performance was not merely cheerful, it was sincere, emotionally grounded, and profoundly human. The film remains one of Disney's most cherished classics, and Hayley's performance is often cited as its heart and soul. Perhaps her most iconic role came with The Parent Trap, in which she performed the dual roles of identical twins with astonishing technical skill and emotional clarity. At an age when most child actors would struggle to differentiate one character from another, Hayley infused each twin with a distinct personality, mannerism, and emotional rhythm. The film became a cornerstone of family cinema and continues to delight new generations, standing as a testament to her extraordinary talent. Yet Hayley Mills's career was never confined to child stardom. As she matured, she made the courageous decision to step away from the Disney image and pursue more complex, challenging roles. This transition was not without difficulty, a struggle shared by many former child stars, but Hayley faced it with honesty and resilience. In the late 1960s and 1970s, she appeared in films and stage productions that explored darker, more nuanced themes, proving her versatility and depth as an actress. Her stage career flourished alongside her film work. Hayley Mills found a deep connection to theater where her performances could breathe and evolve night after night. She appeared in numerous West End productions and later toured internationally, earning praise for her emotional intelligence and commanding presence. Theater allowed her to fully explore character development, and she often spoke of it as a space where she felt most creatively fulfilled. In addition to her acting achievements, Hayley Mills is also an accomplished author. Her memoir, Forever Young, offers a candid, thoughtful reflection on fame, childhood, personal struggle, and survival. In it, she speaks openly about the pressures of early success, the challenges of adulthood, and the importance of self-acceptance. Her writing is marked by humility and insight, revealing a woman who has lived fully, learned deeply, and emerged with grace. Even as the decades passed, Hayley Mills continued to prove that her talent was never confined to a single era, effortlessly reinventing herself and embracing roles that highlighted her depth, warmth, and enduring screen presence. In 2010, she returned to the world of family-friendly storytelling with Mandy and the Cherokee Treasure, a film adaptation drawn from the beloved Mandy novels by Julie Edwards Leopard. Her involvement lent the production a sense of classic charm and credibility, connecting a new generation of viewers to an actress whose career had once defined wholesome, heartfelt cinema. The following year, Mills took on a very different challenge in Foster, 2011, starring opposite Toni Collette in a tender, emotionally resonant drama about longing, loss, and unexpected connections. The film allowed Mills to display a quieter, more reflective side of her craft, reminding audiences that her ability to convey deep emotion with subtlety had only grown stronger with time. Critics and viewers alike noted how naturally she blended into contemporary storytelling, never overshadowed by the modern setting, yet never diminished by it either. Her television appearances throughout the 2000s and 2010s further cemented her reputation as a versatile and dependable performer. In 2014, Mills delighted fans by guest starring in popular British series such as Midsummer Murders and Moving On, seamlessly slipping into sharply written episodic roles that showcased her ease with complex characters and dramatic nuance. These appearances were not mere nostalgia-driven cameos. They were confident, fully realized performances that demonstrated her continued relevance in modern television. In 2019, she joined the cast of Pitching In, a warm, character-driven series set in a holiday park in Wales. The role once again highlighted Mills's ability to bring humanity and authenticity to ensemble casts, enriching the show with her experience and gentle authority. 2 years later, she reached yet another milestone when she portrayed Michael Sheen's mother in the festive drama Last Train to Christmas, 2021. The performance carried emotional weight and familial sincerity, offering audiences a touching portrayal that resonated well beyond the seasonal setting. Mills showed no signs of slowing down in 2022, taking on a recurring role in the television thriller Compulsion. The series allowed her to explore darker, more psychologically complex material, proving that even after a lifetime in front of the camera, she remained unafraid to push herself into challenging territory. Her momentum continued into 2023, when she appeared in the 5th series of ITV's acclaimed crime drama Unforgotten, portraying Lady Emma Hume with poise and layered intensity. The role placed her at the center of a gripping narrative, and her performance was widely appreciated for its emotional restraint and quiet power. Later that same year, Mills delighted international audiences with her appearance in The Wheel of Time, stepping into the epic fantasy world and once again demonstrating her remarkable ability to adapt to any genre. From family adventures and intimate dramas to crime thrillers and sweeping fantasy, Hayley Mills's later career stands as a testament to her enduring talent, timeless appeal, and unwavering passion for storytelling. In 1966, amid the creative energy and emotional intensity of filming The Family Way, a young Hayley Mills, just 20 years old and already a seasoned star, found her life taking an unexpected and transformative turn. On set, she met Roy Bolting, the distinguished and accomplished director, who was 53 at the time. Their connection, forged across a wide generational divide, quickly deepened into a powerful personal bond. What began as a professional collaboration gradually evolved into a romance that fascinated the press and challenged conventional expectations of the era. After several years together, Mills and Bolting married in 1971, stepping into a shared life that blended art, intellect, and domestic quiet. The couple divided their time between a stylish flat in London's Chelsea, at the heart of Britain's cultural and artistic scene, and the romantic historic Cobstone Windmill in Ibstone, Buckinghamshire, a property that seemed to mirror their unconventional love story. Their union produced a son, Crispian Mills, whose creative destiny would later unfold in striking fashion. Crispian grew up to become the lead singer and guitarist of the influential Britpop rock band Kula Shaker, carving out his own place in music history and continuing the family's artistic legacy. Despite the richness of their shared experiences, Mills and Bolting's marriage came to an end in 1977, closing a significant chapter in her personal life. Not long after, Mills embarked on another deeply meaningful relationship, this time with actor Lee Lawson. From this union came her second son, Jason Lawson, born in July 1976. Mills embraced motherhood once again, balancing the demands of her career with the joys and challenges of raising two sons. Although her relationship with Lawson eventually ended in the early 1980s, it marked another formative period of emotional growth and self-discovery for the actress. The aftermath of this breakup proved to be a turning point. During the 1980s, Mills began a profound inward journey, exploring spirituality and developing a sincere interest in various Eastern religions. This quest was not a fleeting curiosity but a thoughtful and intellectual engagement with ideas about faith, meaning, and the nature of existence. Her spiritual explorations found expression through her writing and editorial work. In 1984, she penned the preface to the Hare Krishna book of vegetarian cooking, lending her voice and perspective to a project rooted in compassion and mindful living, though she herself was not a member of the Hare Krishna movement. A few years later, in 1988, she co-edited My God, Letters from the Famous on God and the Life Hereafter alongside Marcus McLean, a compelling collection that gathered reflections on spirituality from well-known figures, further underscoring her thoughtful engagement with life's larger questions. In 1997, love once again entered Mills's life in a way that felt both surprising and enduring. She met actor and writer Fergus Bomji while touring together in leading roles in The King and I. Their connection sparked on stage and strengthened off it, growing into a lasting partnership. Despite a 20-year age difference, their relationship proved resilient and deeply supportive. As of 2023, Bomji remains Mills's partner, standing beside her as both companion and creative equal, a testament to a life marked not only by fame and talent but by continual reinvention, emotional honesty, and an openness to love in all its unexpected forms. At 79 years old, Hayley Mills speaks with a clarity and emotional honesty that only time can provide. Decades removed from her days as one of Disney's most luminous child stars, she no longer feels the need to protect illusions or soften uncomfortable memories. When she reflects on her career now, she does so with gratitude, but also with a willingness to confront the complicated truths that shaped her early life in Hollywood. One of those truths centers on Brian Keith, her co-star in The Parent Trap and several other Disney productions, a man the public long viewed as a warm paternal figure both on and off screen. To the world, Brian was America's dad, Mills says. He had that booming voice, that bear-like presence, and an ease that made people feel safe. But what audiences saw was only part of the story. When Mills first worked with Keith in 1961, she was just a teenager navigating fame that had arrived far too quickly. Keith, already an established actor, was meant to be a steadying influence, a protector of sorts, and in many ways he was. Mills has often acknowledged that he could be generous, encouraging, and fiercely professional on set. "He looked out for me in practical ways," she recalls. "He made sure I was treated fairly, that I wasn't pushed beyond what I could handle as a child." Yet behind that protective exterior was a darker complexity that Mills only fully understood much later. Brian carried a lot of pain, she admits. It wasn't something he talked about openly, and in those days men simply didn't, especially not men who were supposed to be strong. Mills describes Keith as a man haunted by inner battles, mood swings, deep melancholy, and a rigid emotional restraint shaped by his generation. As a young actress, she sensed something was wrong but lacked the language to name it. "You feel these things as a child," she says. "You know when the atmosphere shifts. You know when someone is hurting, even if no one explains it to you." Looking back, she believes Keith's struggles mirrored the broader culture of Hollywood at the time, where vulnerability was hidden and pain was often numbed rather than addressed. There was no room for gentleness toward oneself, Mills explains. If you were suffering, you buried it and kept working. Keith's tragic death by suicide in 1997 cast a long shadow over those memories. For Mills, it brought a profound sadness mixed with understanding. "When I heard how his life ended, my heart broke," she says quietly. "Not because I was shocked, but because it finally made sense." She emphasizes that her reflections are not accusations nor attempts to diminish his talent or kindness. Instead, they are acknowledgments of truth, messy, human, and unresolved. "I don't want to rewrite Brian as a villain or a saint," Mills insists. "He was neither. He was a deeply gifted man who didn't receive the help he needed." Now at 79, Mills sees her willingness to speak honestly as a responsibility, particularly for those who grew up idolizing Hollywood figures without understanding the cost of that world. "We did so much pretending back then," she says. "Pretending everything was fine, pretending we were happy, pretending the system wasn't damaging people." Her reflections also carry a note of compassion, for herself, for Keith, and for an industry that often failed its own. "I survived it, but many didn't," she says. "Brian didn't. And that's the tragedy." In telling the truth now, Mills hopes to honor the full reality of her experiences rather than the polished myths surrounding them. "The truth isn't cruel," she concludes. "What's cruel is silence. And I don't want to be silent anymore." At 79, Hayley Mills isn't dismantling a legacy, she's humanizing it. And in doing so, she reminds us that behind Hollywood's brightest smiles often lived unspoken pain, waiting decades for the courage to finally be named.